from the University of Florida College of Journalism and Communications. You're watching WUFT News at 6.
University of Florida President Bernie Machen said his goodbyes to faculty and staff today as his tenure comes to an end. Good evening. It's Thursday, December 11th. I'm Leanna Scacchetti.
And I'm Zach Dahlheimer. Thanks for joining us tonight. President Machen gave his final remarks during the last Faculty Senate meeting of the year. Faculty and staff in the audience expressed their gratitude and thanks to Machen, who worked closely with them on numerous initiatives throughout his tenure. After serving the University of Florida for more than a decade, President Bernie Machen said goodbye to the group. Machen says he feels good about leaving the university, saying it is in a better state now compared to when he arrived. He also said he feels he's leaving the university in the right hands with the arrival of incoming President Ken Fox. Faculty members also touched on what they'll miss most about Machen.
I'm going to miss Bernie. He's been a very inspirational leader, and he is someone that you can look up to as someone that you would like to emulate. And I've gotten to know him in my working with him, and it's going to be we're going to miss him.
Machen's tenure at UF officially ends on January 1st. Then newly elected President Ken Fox will begin his tenure as the university's 12th president on January 2nd.
Well, with final exams about to start and winter break just days away, students are getting ready to leave campus at the University of Florida.
That's right, but some students are taking a break before the semester ends to spread a little cheer. WUFT's Leah Harding has more.
On the menu at the St. Francis Homeless Shelter today, fast food, SEC Championship Fast.
I was serving the food, so whenever they'll ask for something, I'll say with a smile on my face, give a little joke or a little laugh to put a smile on their face, because I know this is not a place where they want to be, but as long as I'm here to help them, that's all that matters.
The University of Florida women's track team won the 2014 Indoor SEC Championship and tied for third at the Indoor Nationals this year. But you don't have to be fast to spread some holiday happiness.
That touches my heart, I love it. I love to see that.
Lewis was hit by a car a few weeks ago and cannot walk. He said being around the track team was inspiring and encouraging.
They are so sweet, every one of them. They come and they serve people and they look out, and they're very sweet. They show nothing but love.
The track athletes volunteering here today are also student athletes. So on top of missing time for their practice schedule, they're also missing valuable time that they could be using hitting the books. Instead, they're here volunteering at the shelter, with exam week just right around the corner. The fast food today is also served with a little side of humility.
Because I run track and because I'm known, people call me like superstar and all that. I'm like, no. I'm Shayla. I'm just a normal person. I help people. I do my work. I go to practice. Same thing you do. I just have another title to my name, like I'm on the UF track team. That's about it.
Titles set aside, Sanders isn't just a track athlete, and Lewis isn't just a homeless man. Leah Harding, WUFT News.
Florida Governor Rick Scott and the Florida Cabinet are working to pair up people with disabilities and potential employers. Scott and key members of the initiative presented an overview of the new Abilities Work web portal and help desk yesterday. They're both part of the Employment First initiative that was announced last year. Florida's Department of Economic Opportunity created the web portal within the Employ Florida Marketplace. The portal will help employers find qualified candidates with disabilities, as well as be a space for employers to post job openings. To find that portal, you can go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com. And today, some local students joined peers from all over the world in the first ever Hour of Code. The students at Eastside High School took part in this computer science awareness program hosted by Community Code. The event is a 1-hour introduction to computer science. It's designed to show students that anyone can code and provides them with the basics to do so. It's also designed to expand participation in computer science and make it more accessible for more schools.
Well, we know it's been colder these past few days in north central Florida, but looking at the numbers, this is the third day in a row we've seen temperatures in the 30s.
Yeah, definitely a turnaround from that warm weather last week, but our forecaster Sean Bellafiore is in the Weather Center staying warm today, keeping an eye on those temperatures. Sean, how cold will it be tonight?
Exactly, and temperatures tonight will be much closer to much like what they saw last night. Temperatures Going to be near the 30-degree mark in some locations, but we've already started to fall now that the sun has set. 54 degrees outside right now, the University of Florida's campus. 44 degrees by 8 o'clock, 39 by midnight, and 36 by 4 in the morning. Factor in the wind chill, it will feel like 33 degrees by 4 in the morning. Much like last night, we will not see a widespread frost or a freeze. That is because the winds, I think, are just a little bit too strong. 34 degrees the low temperature in Gainesville, 30 in High Springs, and 32 in Lake City. The end of this cold weather is finally in sight, and coming up in my main weather forecast, I'll let you know when you can see some warmer weather. Zach Leanna, back to you.
All right, Sean, thank you. Well, Florida's multi-billion-dollar citrus industry may be making a comeback. Researchers say the unchanged production forecast could be a sign the crop is stabilizing, putting an end to years of devastation. The industry has really taken a hit over the past decade. Production levels have been cut in half by citrus greening, a bacteria that, if left untreated, could wipe out all the state's citrus trees in just a few years. But things are bouncing back, with the production forecast remaining unchanged for the months of November and December, a critical moment for growers in Florida hoping to exceed last year's season. Just last year, researchers started pumping steam around these trees because they discovered it stopped citrus greening.
If they come out in the country, most people are, around Fort Myers and into there, but if they come back in the country and see all these citrus groves, and they'll realize why we have to try to combat this problem with the citrus greening.
The Florida Department of Citrus Growers is planning to collect 108 million 90-pound boxes of oranges by the end of the season. The Florida Department of Health has reaffirmed that all state hospitals are prepared to treat a patient with the deadly Ebola virus. This comes after the release of the Centers for Disease Control's list of 36 hospitals the federal government has deemed as Ebola ready. In October, Florida hospitals were asked by the state to establish mandatory Ebola training programs to protect healthcare professionals. To date, 160 out of 210 hospitals in the state have completed this training. And the Florida Department of Health has also released new data showing youth smoking rates are lower than ever before. A survey from the Tobacco-Free Florida program shows the number of smokers between the ages of 11 and 17 has fallen by more than half since 2006. The program, which was launched in 2007, works to reduce the number of smokers throughout the state. County rates are available too and show Alachua County being below the state average.
Well, dozens of people were hospitalized after a case of food poisoning at an office holiday party in Maitland. Orange County Fire Rescue officials responded to the Maitland colonnades after at least 55 people became violently ill around 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday. About 25 people were taken to hospitals in Orange and Seminole counties. Officials said the rest of the victims either did not go to the hospital or took themselves to the hospital. It's unclear how many people attended the party, but about 700 people work in the building. Officials said a caterer provided the food around 12:30 p.m. Police have not released the name of the caterer, but said they are cooperating with investigators. Well, gift cards remain the most popular present this holiday season, but there's one unexpected item on the wish lists of more Floridians this year.
WUFT's Carla Byron joins us now live from the newsroom with more on that story.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement says the kickoff to the holiday shopping season brought a spike in gun sales. Certain western states have always led the way in gun ownership, but polls showed Florida catching up to the national average in recent years. Today, I spoke with one local gun store owner who's benefiting from the trend and the holiday rush.
Yes, no, exactly. Ghost Dream?
No, but yeah. Patrick White is a regular customer at Lawful Defense Guns and Transfers in Gainesville. He purchased a handgun last holiday season thinking about year-round protection.
I don't live in the best neighborhood, but I figure if I have a handgun or whatnot, it's safer to use inside of an urban environment.
Gun store owner Glenn Jones saw a jump in sales during this year's Black Friday weekend.
We've been in business 3 years. It was our biggest November. Probably on the neighborhood of 20 to 25% larger than the November of 2013.
FDLE says November 28th was the third busiest day for gun sales in the state. More than 8,300 background checks were conducted. At Lawful Defense Guns and Transfers, there's been an increased interest in concealed carry handguns, like the ones you see here.
Jones says more people are buying guns they can conceal to carry because of self-defense concerns, especially in the wake of the Ferguson and Florida State University shootings. Great holiday deals also have something to do with the sales boost.
The recent events have definitely driven some of the self-defense oriented sales, but the regular holiday sales, a lot of people into recreational shooting, hunting and sports shooting and that type of thing. Typically, a lot of those firearms are purchased during the holiday season.
White says he plans on getting his concealed carry permit next year. If he does, he'll join the more than 1.3 million Floridians who have one.
All right, Carla, thank you. Well, there's more to come on WUFT News at 6. Coming up midnight tonight is the deadline for Congress to vote on its spending bill, forcing lawmakers to act in the face of a looming government shutdown.
Plus, doctors in Switzerland have stopped the clinical trial of an Ebola vaccine because of a side effect. Stay with us for details on that story and more coming up after the break.